My name is Mark Shetler, and I'm the executive pastor here at RiverCity Christian in Sacramento, California. I started in ministry because everybody in my family was in ministry, and at the age of 17, I was looking towards the future, thinking about going to college, and I thought, I want to do something different than become a pastor. Then I was at a camp meeting, and all of a sudden I felt God's call in my life that I was supposed to go into the ministry. Approximately 8 years ago, we had the opportunity to partner with World Relief, one of the resettlement agencies here in Sacramento, and they asked us if we would consider hosting, sponsoring a family that would be arriving from Iraq as refugees. And we decided that we wanted to try it. My wife and I thought, before we could ask other people in the church, though, to participate with us, that we needed to get an idea of what it was like doing it ourselves. Working with that first family was a very stretching experience for both my wife and I. We were a little bit scared when we first started to work with this family. When we went to the airport to pick them up, we didn't know really what to expect. We didn't know anything about their culture, didn't know their language. And then we met them, and they were like normal people, and they had kids, and they had plans for the future. They wanted their kids to be in a place where they would really be able to succeed, get a good education, get good jobs. And so during those first couple weeks, as we got to know them, our defenses kind of came down, and we began to just kind of share a lot of life stories together. And I'll never forget, probably about 2 weeks after they had arrived, they invited us to come to their apartment that they had just settled into, and asked us to come over for a Sunday lunch after we were done with church. And we walked in, and they had this beautiful spread out on the table. And here they were on their very limited budget and everything, but they were treating us like family and treating us with honor. And it was at that moment that we just realized that these were not just people we were helping for the short term, but these were actually going to be friends for the rest of our lives. And 8 years later, we're still friends with that family. From that point, then we just started asking other people in our church to get involved.
My name is Robert McNew, and I'm one of the volunteers in Bridges. Bridges is a program where we meet with the refugees from different countries. We meet with them and help them acclimate to the United States, but also give them a place to go where they can get support and help and feel like they're part of what's going on here.
My name is Peg LeClaire. I'm a volunteer with Bridges. My first thought was, I don't speak Arabic, Farsi, Urdu, Dari, only English. What am I going to do?
My name is Melody Harrell.
My name is Rich Harrell. I know that one of the things that really hit home with me right away was the word teach. I was told that there would be some teaching involved, and being a retired school teacher, teachers never stop teaching, and I was looking for, again, a way to be used by the Lord and get to do something that I know well enough to be able to be comfortable doing it back with them. And it was an incredible, incredible time.
The easiest way to not be afraid of people is to meet people. In these times right now, people might be afraid of Muslims just because of things they've heard or news they've seen, and maybe they don't know any. I think that's the biggest reason they're afraid, because they don't know somebody.
It just happened. I loved it. And I love meeting the people. They're so thankful. And cannot believe that someone would just come out and do all this.
My name is Ann Kemtrup, and I am the Vice Chairperson at Salam Islamic Center here in Sacramento. It means a lot to our community, particularly in this day and age when a lot of times we're not getting that hand, and we get all these other messages in the media. Having RiverCity come and extending that hand and always finding new ways to interact is a way to counter the other narrative that would develop in our community potentially. Oh, they hate us, and then this tells us that no, they do not. There's a good chunk of people out there who want us to be part of the community as much as we want to be part of the community.
Asian-looking people came in,
One of the greatest joys in this whole experience of working with the refugee community has been the opportunity to share the spiritual journey with my Muslim friends. Often we've been able to talk about Christ and talk about who Jesus is and how I see Jesus coming alongside of them and caring about the situations that they're facing, the sorrow, the loneliness, the sadness they have about their homeland. And being able to pray with them even though they haven't been converted yet or anything like that, but they have gained a respect for me simply because I had respect for them. Some other well-meaning Christians, evangelicals right here in our city, have questioned our motives. They've been wondering, are you guys just compromising the gospel by having the relationship that you have with the Muslim community, especially the refugee community? And I have to say to them that I would be compromising my understanding of the gospel if I did not have relationships with these individuals.
Someone asked me, why do you do this? I said, it's a command from God. First, we have to love God. And secondly, he said, love your neighbor as yourself.
You have to embrace people where they're at. You have to love them, whether they're Muslims, they're Hindus. You have to meet them where they're at. You have to love them, and at that point, when they see that you're loving them, they in turn can respond to you.
It's very interesting that Jesus does not say, love the neighbor that's just like you, like yourself. He says just love your neighbor, and that has informed, I think, my own personal theology as well as individuals in our church and our church family as a whole, that we are called to love all of our neighbors. And if they happen to be from Iraq or Afghanistan or Syria, that's what we're called to do.